like all.
Right.
It's like in a separate college
All right, thank you.
and it's like on a separate timeline than your sophomore year.
Otherwise.
This is the Bangor School Committee regular school meeting. It is Wednesday, March 26th, 2025. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation. Do we have any adjustments to the agenda?
We do have one adjustment, item, D1B, the ratification of the ed tech contract, will be tabled. We do not have that available yet. So that's our one adjustment for this evening.
Okay, thank you.
We need a motion.
Yes, can I get a motion to accept the adjustment to the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, thank you. And moving on to public comment. As a reminder, members of the public may address the school committee for up to 3 minutes on school and education matters. Public comments shall be directed to the school committee and be brief and non-repetitive. The school committee's practice is not to respond or debate with speakers during the public comment period. We are here to listen. The superintendent or her staff will follow up on comments outside of the meeting as appropriate. The school committee will not permit profanity or shouting and requests that speakers be civil. Discussions of specific personnel or student matters and complaints concerning specific employees or students will not be allowed. Policies and procedures. Before speaking, we encourage speakers to review school committee policy AC, which provides that the committee does not and will not discriminate nor tolerate discrimination against students or employees on the basis of membership in a protected class. Speakers who share comments contrary to this policy will not be allowed to continue. Before starting, please state your name and place of residence. And do we have any public comment tonight? Please come on up.
Hi, my name is Richard Ward, I'm a Bangor resident. I'm here to speak about the recent school board's department statement stating that they're going to go against the current administration's attempt to stop diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. I believe DEI policies are inherently racist and anti-white. Why is it that our tax dollars are going to pay for a school district to employ anti-white liberal activists? Why are we taking advice from someone whose whole education has been in LGBT, feminism, and Marxist studies? I'd suggest the board cut these wasteful positions and focus on education instead of indoctrination. Students are taught that 2 men can have a baby, that being white is wrong, and that somehow cutting your genitals off is gender affirming care. At this point, I'd rather see the Trump administration cut school funding if it's going to continue to be used to brainwash students. I have 2 topics to cover that I'd start with: diversity, inclusion, and equity policies. Diversity means fewer white people, inclusion means excluding white people, and equity means stealing from white people. Watch Defiant by Devon Stack at gtvflyers.com. These programs were never meant to promote any type of fairness or justice, but reward the deserving and punish the worthy. Our president, Donald Trump, has done away with affirmative action and other anti-white practices. It's time for the school to take suit. Stop the attack on our white youth. My second issue is with the leftist media that keeps pushing the LGBT narrative to confuse children. The Western world is the only place where there's still this tolerated. We need to stand against the pedophilic degenerate cult. It's disgusting to see leftists cheer for drag queen shows to convince children that they're the wrong gender. Leave the kids alone. How can regular people who just want to be left alone coexist with a group that want to hurt children? What is a woman? Does castrating yourself make you a woman? Does dressing up like a woman make you a woman? Does taking hormone blockers make you one? No, doing all these things just makes you a mentally ill man. It's wrong for society to cater to a seriously ill minority of people and expect us to go along with their delusional thinking. When someone suffers from schizophrenia, we don't reinforce their delusions as truth. We shouldn't for transgenderism either. How can we take anyone serious when they don't even know what gender they are? Where do we draw the line? Child castration, having children taken from their parents for not long going along with the woke mob, having sex offenders teach children at schools. At this point, nothing is off the table for the woke left. For being a group that wants acceptance, they are quick to advocate for violence against anyone who disagrees with them. We will never cower in fear to terrorists. We will not surrender our country to left-wing scum. Sometimes the truth hurts, and some of you need to hear it. And there's more facts about the LGBT community. While 2% of the population, they are 33% of child molesters, 67% of AIDS cases, 78% have STDs. They have a lifespan shorter than 30 years than normal. 28% of gay men have had 1,000 or more sexual partners. Rape and sexual assault before the age of 16 are strongly correlated with homosexual behavior. Homosexuality is 3 times more fatal than smoking or extreme obesity. Gay bug chasers promote the spread of HIV to unwitting sexual partners. That's a lot to be proud of, and you can go to gtdflyers.com to learn more. Thank you.
Anyone else? Anything? All right, moving on. Up next, we've got superintendent's proposals and updates. But first, we've got the first reading of the 2026 budget.
We already reviewed the budget and, at this point, there is only one minor change that I just want to highlight that has had no budgetary impact, but if you look on the final page of the budget packet, Article 13. Article 13 is related to the UTC contribution that we make for their adult education budget. And what you'll notice is that their budget currently is $217,507.63. In the prior version, it was approximately 100,000 higher than that, but they were able to make some adjustments to allow our amount of $18,023 to remain consistent. So that's the only change. So at this point, I would like to recommend approval or, acceptance of the first reading of the FY26 budget.
Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. Yes, member Surratt.
thank you. I want to ask about, I know we're doing a lot of work right now on a cell phone policy. And that cell phone policy most likely won't be finalized until after the budget has been passed. Is there money in the budget for the possibility that there has to be some sort of expenditure associated with this?
We have done kind of a cost estimate on possible interventions, I suppose you would call them. So yes, we do have contingencies in there to account for that if the direction does go in that way.
Thank you.
Any other discussion or questions? All in favor?
6-0.
Thank you. Next up, we've got informational items. First up is superintendent's update.
I have my update for this month. We had many exciting events, and it's hard to always select what I'll highlight. But this month, I'm focusing in on the invention convention preparation. During my school visits, I was able to stop in and talk with middle schoolers about the inventions that they created for that. It was really inspiring to see the creativity that was used in that project for both of the middle schools. And I was also able to visit several different math classrooms, and it was really evident that students were engaged in the learning process when I would go around and ask them, what are you learning, and can you explain that to me? And everyone that I asked was able to do that. So that was a huge success. The academic showcase occurred for middle and high school. That was a really, really successful event. Many families came out. There were lots of activities. I'm sure many of you were in attendance at the elementary and middle schools. Really, really great evening. We just went over the budget. In terms of the mentoring plan for the early release days, we've done kind of a deeper dive into the details. And what we have recognized is that we are going to put that piece on hold. So we have the early release days are scheduled, and as a school department, we are just going to allow those days to be focused on professional learning. So the mentoring idea that we had initially thought was going to work, after we dug into it, there were several details that presented barriers that we felt would distract from those days for staff. So we've decided to pivot away from that. We are going to utilize those great activities though in another way, and that's in process. I really wanted to make sure that all the hard work of the high school students didn't go to waste, and further information of how that's happening and how that will be used, I'll be sharing that. In terms of the federal changes, again, we are continuing to monitor at this point, looking at the dismantling of the U.S. Department of Ed, as well as the other federal changes right now. We do not anticipate a funding disruption in food service or title, especially, I know at this current moment, but again, you know, we're watching it to make sure. And any changes that occur, I will definitely let everyone know. Presc, the Regional Education Service Center, that update, we are creating an ad hoc committee that is going to work to generate a list of ideas for improved efficiencies. We had to reschedule the meeting that was for today, but we're really working to generate ideas that can fall under that regional program and will aid with added efficiencies and potential cost savings for the region. So I'll continue to update on those as they become available. Any questions?
Thank you. Thank you. Moving on to report of retirements.
I'm reporting the following retirements. Graciela Dorsa, Spanish teacher at Bangor High School. Nona Jenkins, physical education teacher at Fruit Street School.
And report of resignations.
I'm reporting the following resignations. Lori Hatch, special education teacher at Vine Street School. Emma Grigio, special education teacher at Fruit Street School. Michaela Michaud, special education teacher at Bangor High School.
Thank you. Moving on to business action items. Next up, we have the action items. We've got the minutes of the regular meeting of March 12th, 2025.
I'm recommending approval for the draft minutes of the March 12th, 2025 regular school committee meeting.
Can I get a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
6-0.
Next, we've got personnel, and first up with administrators, we've got probationary contracts.
I'm nominating for committee approval, the election of the following administrator nominees for probationary contract from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026. Jeannie McAlpine, Assistant Special Ed Director. Jeanette Quirk, Principal, Fairmount School. And Kathy Stankard, Principal, 14th Street School.
Okay, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Five oh. 5-1, sorry.
And moving on next to continuing contracts.
I'm nominating for committee approval and election the following administrator nominees for continuing contract from July 1st, 2025, June 30th, 2026. Christy Lord, Principal, Mary Snow School. Darrell Loring, Assistant Principal, James F. Dowdy School. Deborah Sweat, Principal, Vine Street School.
And can I get a motion?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? All right, next up, we've got second reading of new and revised policies. And do you want to take these together or separately?
If we can take them together. I'm recommending approval of the second reading of new and revised policies. Revised policy ACAD hazing, new policy BEC, executive sessions, policy and law. Revised policy BEDH, public comment. Revised policy GDB 10, educational technology staff compensation guide. Revised policy JIE, pregnant students.
And can I get a motion?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
6-0.
Thank you. And up next, we've got introduction items, and we've got the first reading of new and revised policies. Do you want to take those together? Or would you like to go through them
I think
separately?
we can go through them together.
Okay.
I'm recommending the first reading of new and revised policies, new policy BEDC, quorum, revised policy BEDD, rules of order, revised policy BEDG, minutes, revised policy BEDI, news media, revised policy BEDF, voting method, new policy BEDGA, abstentions.
And can I get a motion to accept the first reading?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
6 up.
All right, moving on to committee updates. Do we have any comments or questions from the committee at this time? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, member Sprague.
Just a random one. Today, actually, the Chamber of Commerce in Bangor partnered with the schools on the 7-Up program, where they get seventh graders from both middle schools around all over the city to visit different employers. My own employer, my day job was one of them, and it was great to have those seventh graders in. We had one group of 20 or 30 from Cohen and one from Doughty, and they were very engaged, asked good questions, and you could feel the enthusiasm. I think it's really good for them. And kudos to the chamber for doing it, because it's meant to give our students eye on what possible careers are out there. And they're all right here in this community. So it's fun and an engaging way to have that interaction with some of our students. So kudos to the chamber, and I appreciate the school department being supportive of it as well.
Thank you, member Sprague. Member Dondra.
Thank you. I just wanted to give a shout out to the folks at UTC. I know my kiddo went on a field trip there just the other day and was able to explore all they have to offer. And he came home full of ideas and some new career aspirations, some of which we'll talk more through. But he was really excited, and he said everybody did a great job and was super friendly. So to all the staff that manage a field trip, to the folks at UTC that entertain some energetic younger kiddos, I appreciate it very much. It sounded like it was a great experience for them all.
Thank you. Member O'Carey.
I'm sorry, not to go back, but to the superintendent's update. I had a question about the decision to pivot away from the mentoring on the days. I know that we had mentioned earlier about contacting other daycare providers or just school providers about but watching the children on that day. I don't know. I haven't even gotten any sleep, but has that been done, and do we know whether or not they can do that?
I just need to supply them with the dates, but they've all assured me that with this much advance notice, they will be able to accommodate, and they typically do pivot even on,
Snow days, right?
yeah, so
Great.
we don't anticipate any issues with that.
Perfect.
Thank you. Any other comments this evening? No? Okay. Next up, we have, do we have any committee appointments? No, I didn't think so. Just double checking. Any representative reports this evening? No, okay. Student committee member updates.
Okay, so we just have a few things. Something really exciting coming up is the Bangor High School Talent Show, which we just had auditions for this week, extending into tomorrow.
This Saturday, the Bangor High STEM Academy is going to Portland for the Maine State Science Fair, and this Monday, the 31st, spring sports are starting. Thank you.
That's. Okay. We're all just very efficient this evening. Thank you. Any other reports? No, moving on. Okay, moving on to information items. Wednesday, April 9th, regular meeting, 7 p.m. at the William S. Cohen School Library. That is a change. The Cohen Library. Just FYI. Wednesday, April 30th, 2025, regular meeting, 7 p.m. Bangor High School Library. And Tuesday, May 13th, 2025, regular meeting, 7 p.m. Bangor High School Library. Questions and comments from the committee, last chance. Member Surratt.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank Member Bryden and our Civil Rights Director for their comments in the Bangor Daily News about all the good work that our Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Advisory Committee is doing for all students in Bangor. Thank you.
In that case, I move to adjourn. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Hang on, I think the three of us. You walk out with me?
Yeah, sure.
In the car.
Hi, Ben. How are you doing? Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, nope, got you.
Good night.
Thank you.